Hey everyone, how's it going? Hope you're all doing well. Satan's Little Season versus part 12. Let's have a look. Today we've got Luke chapter 17 verses 25 to 30. Luke 17:25. But first must he suffer many things and be rejected of this generation. And as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man. They did eat, they drank, they married wives, they were given in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them all. Likewise also it was in the days of Lot. They did eat, they drank, they bought, they sold, they planted, they builded. But the same day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed them all. Even thus shall it be in the day when the Son of Man is revealed. Back to Luke 17:25. But first must he suffer many things and be rejected of this generation. So I've already showed you that generation G1074. So now I'm describing the class of those that have been begotten. Thus it can refer to the whole of mankind living at one time, successive waves of a genealogy or even an age. I also showed you that it can mean like fathered, birth, nativity, that which has been begotten, men of the same stock, a family, several ranks of a natural descent, the successive members of a genealogy, a race of men very like each other in endowments, pursuits and character, in a bad sense, a perverse race, the whole multitude of men living at the same time, an age. So, like, literally, generation can mean like a past, present and future. So the generation that Jesus is speaking about here is clearly the generation alive at Jesus' time, the Pharisees, the Sadducees, the people, because they rejected him. That's why he was crucified. And as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man. Well, this is why I say cherry picking, because the preterist view or the Satan's short season view is that 70 AD were as in the days of Noah. You know, that were when Jesus come back, his second advent, his parousia. So shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man. But this is why I say it's cherry picking, and they're only cherry picking because when you take these verses as they are doing out of context, they're missing other things that should be took into consideration that's not. For instance, if you go back to Luke 17:22, and he said unto the disciples, the days will come when ye shall desire to see one of the days of the Son of Man, ye shall not see it. But back down here, and as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man. So if 70 AD is the days of Noah and the days of the Son of Man, in Luke 17:22, he's just told his disciples they'll not see that day. So we've got big problems there. Also, there's a difference between the days of Noah, you know, that it were a worldwide catastrophe, it were a worldwide event. Destruction of Jerusalem in 70 AD were a localised, went a worldwide event. And also the difference between, like when it mentions Sodom and Gomorrah, you know, it says there's an hour in Sodom and Gomorrah they were eating and drinking and getting in marriage. That basically means that they were just getting on with their lives, you know, and they didn't even know until flood came. It's a common misunderstanding that Noah was preaching to people, you know, to be saved from flood, which is not true at all. For instance, if we read in Matthew 24:38, For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, yeah. So they were just getting on with their lives, basically, until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came. You see, they didn't know nothing about flood till it came. Sodom and Gomorrah didn't know nothing about fire and brimstone till it come. And then other difference between 70 AD and days of Noah, you know, like I've just told you, they didn't know that flood were coming. They weren't told that flood were coming. It just came. God had already decided who were getting saved. That were Noah, his family, and animals that were led to ark. You know, all flesh were corrupt. It weren't getting saved. It were reset time. It had to be that way, otherwise there'd have been no uncorrupted flesh for Jesus to come for every long line, which was the plan. So the difference between 70 AD and these days of Noah is that in 70 AD, Jesus was telling them that they were going to get judged, which is what happened in 70 AD. So Jesus made people aware of the judgment of Israel, but in the days of Noah, in the days of Lot, and again, as in the days of Noah when the Son of Man returns, there'll be no warning. You know, that's why Jesus says he'll come like a thief in the night. So again, I don't see any Satan's little season in these verses. I just put it down to cherry picking and a lack of understanding. Hope you enjoyed that one. See you on the next.